After over 2 years in prison without incident, Tory was stabbed 14 times just days after a major national news outlet reached out to Megan Pete's team, Kelsey Harris, and former DA George Gascon about a story on new evidence in this case. You don't have to believe in conspiracies to see the pattern. When evidence was about to come to light, Tory was nearly killed. So let's stop pretending this is complicated. Let's stop treating this like some cultural war flashpoint. This is about a man, a father, a son, Daystar Peterson, who has sat in a prison cell for over a year based on a case that wouldn't pass the smell test in any honest courtroom. The prison system can no longer guarantee his safety, and that alone should be grounds for immediate action. But combine that with the overwhelming evidence of a botched investigation, and this becomes not just a legal issue, but a morale emergency. Tory Lanez deserves a new trial. He deserves due process. He deserves a pardon. And if justice still matters in America, he deserves to go home. So what now? What do we do now? We're all here today. We are calling on Governor Gavin Newsom, the California Attorney General, and the public at large to act. If you believe in due process, sign the petition now on the Caldwell Institute page that Gianna Caldwell mentioned at change.org. Let your voice be counted. Let the system know that we see what's happening and we won't stay silent. We can't be a nation that claims to value justice but looks the other way when a man is buried beneath the weight of political motivated prosecution. Dr. King said again, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. This is that threat in modern day time. This is that moment. Daystar Peterson deserves to go home today. And we, the people, have a duty to bring him home. Thank you.
Welcome to the Famous Girl TV, where today I'll be talking about none other than Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. So based on the video clip that you just saw, Diana London, who was the woman speaking at the press conference, she, in so many words, basically implicated Megan Pete, Kelsey Harris, and the former DA, George Gascon, in the attempt on Tory's life. If you listen to what she said, she made it very clear that shortly after the New York Post reached out to these three parties that I just listed, that Tory was brutally attacked in prison. He was stabbed 14 times by an inmate that goes by the name of Santino Casio. Miss London made it very clear that Tory Lanez is no longer safe in prison, and she is now calling on the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, to pardon Tory from prison. After the stabbing, whispers started to grow loud about what really happened. Many people said that they believed it was a targeted hit organized by Megan Thee Stallion and Roc Nation in a desperate last-ditch effort to silence Tory forever. On May 24th, TMZ published an exclusive audio interview with Santino Casio, the perpetrator who stabbed Tory Lanez 14 times, where he claimed that the stabbing was purely self-defense after he had heard Tory had put a bounty on him. Yes, you heard that correctly. TMZ platformed the creep who tried to unalive Tory Lanez and allowed him to say that it was self-defense. TMZ wrote, Casio told us he heard rumors through the prison grapevine that Tory had a bounty on him, and shortly after, Casio ran into him and thought that he saw a suspicious lump in Tory's pocket. He says he thought it was a weapon, so he jumped him, hit him, and stabbed him 14 times. Yet Casio claims he wasn't trying to kill Tory. Now let me just say, this exclusive interview did not go over well with the general public, okay? Santino Casio is a convicted PDF file who unalived a child with a shotgun, and he just recently violently stabbed someone 14 times. So a lot of people on social media were wondering, how the hell did this guy, this criminal, this violent sex offender, how did he get a platform? How did he even get an interview with TMZ? How was he even allowed to speak after attacking a high-profile celebrity such as Tory Lanez? It doesn't make any sense to me how someone could literally try to unalive a high-profile celebrity and then turn around and immediately get an interview with TMZ. Like, shouldn't this person be locked up somewhere on 23-hour lockdown? Why is he allowed to do interviews? So this led me to believe that someone with a lot of pull, someone that has influence, potentially someone who is in a position of authority, I believe that that person or persons set him up to do an interview with TMZ. There is no way that you can nearly kill someone while incarcerated and then get a public interview where he's literally, it sounded like he was almost bragging about it, talking about how he stabbed Tory repeatedly. It was like he was boasting about it. So he's literally telling TMZ that he did not try to kill Tory because this was purely out of self-defense. But then in the same breath, he's literally admitting that he stabbed him 14 times. How do you stab somebody 14 times in self-defense? Like, be so for real. So my thing is, why would Tory Lanez, someone who is fighting for his freedom, who is not even supposed to be in prison in the first place, why would he put a bounty on someone who, A, claimed out of their own mouth that he and Tory were cool, that they never had any prior issues, and B, why would he put a bounty on someone who is serving a life sentence? Make it make sense. And I'm gonna be honest, honestly, there's no way to make it make sense. You can't make it make sense because there's no sense to make. Because you know what I think? I think the whispers about this attack being a targeted hit were growing too loud. They could not have people assuming that Roc Nation was behind the attempt on Tory's life. So what did they do? They platformed this asshole, Santino Casio, to try to convince the general public that this was purely self-defense. Interestingly enough, shortly after Casio's interview with TMZ was published, where he claimed self-defense, the Shaderoom publishes a video of Casio attacking Tory Lanez and stabbing him over and over and over again. Now, what makes this really crazy is that the Shaderoom is notorious for censoring curse words. Not even real curse words. They censor words like ass and bitch. They censor the dumbest shit. Wait. So let me get this straight. You guys are not comfortable posting fake curse words like bitch and ass. You're not comfortable showing those words in its entirety, but you're comfortable showing us a video of a black man being stabbed repeatedly over and over again. You're okay with publishing a video like that to your millions of followers, but you can't write out the word ass? So not only do I find it highly suspicious that the Shaderoom of all people were the ones to exclusively publish this video of Tory being attacked, but it also confirmed my suspicion that Casio 1000% did not act in self-defense. You could clearly see in that video footage that Tory had no idea what was going on. He literally attacked him from behind, and if you look at the video closely, you could see a mirror, and it appears to be two guards, and you could literally see them walk away. So we have someone being violently attacked and no one intervenes. There are multiple bystanders, as you could see in the video, and not one of them stopped to try to help. So to me, it's very obvious that this person, this asshole, was platformed solely so that he could help convince the general public that this was not an inside job, that this was not targeted, that it wasn't a hit, because he needs to protect who? He needs to protect the people that hired him. He needs to protect the people that hired him, and the people that hired him also need the heat off of them. So what better way to do that than to come out and say that this was all self-defense? All right, y'all. Next topic, Megan Thee Stallion, and I'm gonna talk about how never before seen police body cam footage was released that shows Megan Thee Stallion telling police that she was never shot, that she stepped on glass. And it also shows police acknowledge that they saw Megan step on a glass bottle and cut her foot. Bitch, look at this.
What's that?
Do you think we're gonna go to jail?
I don't know. We're trying to figure it all out. As long as you guys cooperate with us and you guys tell us what happened, we'll go accordingly, okay? But if you guys are not telling us, if you guys are, then I don't think...
I really cannot go to jail.
Okay.
I cannot have that on my image.
Okay. So how did that happen to you?
Glass.
Glass? Where?
Where we were coming from. But I'm not from here, so I...
Okay.
That's the only place you got shot at? That's the only place you got shot?
I didn't get shot.
Oh, you did it?
No, man. I mean, no, sir.
Yeah.
Any evidence of any shooting or anything? That's how we got dispatched.
Well, we have the gun here, and then we have other units. They're searching the house where it happened. So that's all we have so far.
So nothing happened in the vehicle.
No, we don't have any casings. No.
Okay, from what you've been told. Okay.
And then there's some cash over. Looks like.
Was the person who got caught with the other people here that you have in handcuffs? Were they all together?
They were all together.
Yes, they were all in the same car.
Okay, and then do we know how she got cut?
I believe when she stepped down, there's a glass.
She dropped
right
a glass bottle, and then I think she stepped on it and cut herself, getting out of the vehicle.
Okay, so her friends didn't cut her then.
Right.
Well,
She cut herself when she stepped out.
Move back!
oh, she cut herself.
You were just one ball stick on the left. I have another cut on my right foot. I just stepped on gas the other day.
So you were already hurt, so we got to do it. And then at that point, your friends were running down and the hospital.
Okay, so in the first clip that I played for you guys, you could see Megan Thee Stallion is talking to police officers, and she's saying, am I gonna go to jail because I can't have that for my image. And then she's also seen and heard telling police officers that she did not get shot. The second clip, you can hear the cops talking to each other, acknowledging that Megan stepped on a glass bottle and cut herself. The fourth clip, you can hear the cops saying, look, it's right there on the floor. And then the camera pans to the broken bottle on the ground, and then you can see bloody footprints next to it. Then in the fifth clip, you can see Megan exiting the vehicle following the instructions of the male police officer. She gets out of the vehicle and she literally steps directly down onto the bottle, and then she starts bleeding. And then it's like as she's backing up with her hands up, like trying to follow the police officer's directions, you can see that's when she's limping. In the sixth clip that I showed, you can see the exact moment that Megan stepped on that glass bottle coming out of the vehicle from another angle. There's another police officer, a second female police officer, and as soon as Megan steps on the bottle, the female officer literally says, oh, she cut herself, right as it happened. So the last clip, you can see Megan is in the hospital talking to one of the police officers, and she is seen telling the officer, hey, I have another cut on my right foot because I just stepped on glass the other day. And then she's also heard telling the officer that she did not get shot. And then today, some more footage came out of Megan Thee Stallion having an interview with a police detective, and she is giving her version of events. She's recounting the story. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put this clip in.
You actually saw him holding the gun? Was anybody else standing next to him, or how was his positioning on it?
So it's the security guard driving, me and the passenger. Kelsey is behind me and Tory is behind the driver. So like he had to get over her to even shoot at me.
So is he out of the vehicle, or is it from inside?
So you know how you can like stand out of the car, like you're like standing over the door. That's how he was.
So
shooting.
like the door's open.
Yes.
And then he would be standing in the threshold, kind of almost.
But like over the window.
Okay, but leaning over the window. So he's actually still
in the car.
But kind of. Gotcha. Okay, so. Okay.
It's like he was standing on the thing that you could stand on.
Like a step rail or something of the car, because it was an SUV that the car you guys were in. Right? So as the door is open, and he's
like he has to have like 1 foot inside of the car, and he's like shooting over the door.
Over the door, he's leaning over, and then when he's shooting over the door, you have a clear line of sight, and you see it's Tory, and he's holding the gun shooting. Okay. And then from that point, Kelsey is kind of next to him.
Yeah, she's in the back seat.
She's in the back seat, so he's in the front seat, and she's.
No, I couldn't tell you if he moved to the front seat. I just know he was on the other side of the car now. Like it's the passenger. Yeah. That's where I am.
The front passenger.
Right.
Gotcha.
So it seems like he's shooting from that side of the car now, but he's over the door.
Okay.
Do you remember, was it the rear passenger door that was open?
I'm gonna take before you
I had literally just started walking.
Okay. So you exit the car and you're walking, the 20 or so feet. That's when just the seconds that had transpired.
Like a few seconds. Like not like 5 seconds, but like I guess he had to take some time to get the gun. However long that would take.
Yeah.
And then he was like, dance bitch.
Okay. And then so now you hear dance bitch and you turn around, and just to be very specific, when you describe Tory as kind of the door is open, from what I understand, Tory's kind of short. So was he on the ground?
No. It's like he was standing on the thing that you could stand on.
Like a step rail or something on the car? Because it was an SUV that the car you guys were in, right? So as the door is open,
it's like he has to have like 1 foot inside of the car, and he's like shooting over the door.
Over the door, he's leaning over, and then when he's shooting over the door, you have a clear line of sight, and you see it's Tory, and he's holding the gun shooting.
The security guard driving, me and the passenger. Kelsey is behind me, and Tory is behind the driver. So like he had to get over her to even shoot at me.
So is he out of the vehicle or is it from
So
inside?
you know how you can like stand out of the car, like you're like standing over the door. That's how he was.
So like the door's open.
Yes.
And then he would be standing in the threshold, kind of almost.
But like over the window.
Okay, but leaning over the window. So he's actually still
in the car.
But kind of. Gotcha. Okay,
So Megan told police in this interview that she was sitting in the front passenger seat. Obviously, you had the driver in the driver's seat. You had Tory sitting behind the driver, and then you had Kelsey sitting behind Megan. She says that she saw Tory clearly shoot at her after saying "dance bitch." She said he stood on the railing of the SUV like he had one foot on the railing, and then his arms were over the door and he was shooting at her over the front passenger side door. But that doesn't make any sense because she literally just said that Tory was sitting behind the driver. And as she's telling the story, you can actually see her realize that she fucked up. And then she had to stop herself because she almost said that Tory got out the car, but then she stopped herself and was like, wait, no, he had to jump over Kelsey to shoot at me.
The security guard driving, me and the passenger. Kelsey's behind me and Tory is behind the driver.
So, like he had to get over her to even shoot at me.
So she's saying that Tory jumped from the back driver's seat into the front passenger seat and shot at her from over the door, even though she said that Tory had to jump over Kelsey to shoot over the door, even though Kelsey wasn't sitting in the front passenger seat. She was sitting in the back passenger seat. I don't even know. I really don't even know. This, like, my head hurts trying to keep up with. I don't even know. So all of this previously unseen police body cam footage and police interview footage, this was all put out on the internet by Tory Lanez legal team after Megan Thee Stallion's legal team went on the Shaderoom and did an interview and basically said that all of the things that Tory Lanez team had been talking about regarding suppressed evidence, never before seen evidence, and basically about them proclaiming Tory Lanez innocence, they basically came out and said that all of that shit was misinformation and that it was really just a desperate attempt to try to get him out of prison and that Tory really doesn't deserve to be released. I don't really know if that was the best idea for Megan and her legal team, because that right there is what prompted Tory Lanez's team to come out with this very, very damning, incriminating body cam footage. And they made all of this footage and all of this information that they believe exonerates Tory. It's all on a public website called www.36hourslater.com. So you can literally access this website, and all the video clips that I put in there are all on that website. And there's way more stuff on there. Like, they have different medical reports. I mean, they have Megan's text messages saying that they believe that her evidence was edited. At the end of the day, all of this information 100% prove that Megan Thee Stallion lied. Like, it's over. We know she lied. There's no debate. There should be no more questions. There should be no more, oh, well, I mean, no, he shot her. He should still, like, that. Can we just dead that? Like, the girl lied. We know that she lied. There are multiple videos showing this girl cut her foot on glass. She's literally on camera telling the police that she cut herself on glass. There's just no reason why we should still be pushing this stupid narrative that Megan was shot. I think it's really obvious at this point that, you know, Megan was not shot. Okay? She was never shot. If she was shot, she would have been bleeding a lot more than that. I anticipate that Tory's team will be dropping more evidence in the future. I don't think that this is it for them. I think they probably have some more stuff, but maybe they're just trying to slow roll some of this stuff out, you know? So altogether, it's just really looking bad for Megan. I just don't think this is a good look for her. We know that she's a liar now. At this point, her credibility is completely shot. Like, I don't know. Me personally, I don't believe anything that comes out of her mouth. I don't understand why anybody else would at this point, but hey, to each his own. So at this point, I'm just gonna keep my eyes open and listen for updates to see if any more evidence is put out, to see if maybe Megan and her team come back with something. But I just think for right now, man, I think the jig is up. It's over. Girl, you got caught. Let it go. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to my ratchet video, and please leave me a comment and like this video. Thank you. Bye.